so you actually stand a reasonable chance of fighting people. Now obviously gear is still an issue in that, so people of high level than you are still going to be hard to kill, even though that you've been buffed up to appropriate levels. And also you don't have access to the abilities which you get at a higher level. For example, I've just earned an ability for the Chosen. I'm level 16, which allows me to basically put people on their asses, and I've not had anything like that at all for a while now, so that's quite interesting because it does mean that I can pin people down more often. So yeah, it's really fun how they've done that. Also, you do get XP for killing player characters and taking part in events like capturing particular points where you turn up and kill the NPCs there and any PCs that happen to be there and capturing the point and holding it. You get experience. Now you have two different methods of leveling in this game. The first is your experience bar, obviously, which puts you up from level 1 through 40. And then you have your renown, which also goes up from level 1 through 40 initially, until you actually hit the cap at level 40, which point it goes all the way up to level 70. And you get both by doing realm versus realm combat. Now if you're just doing PV, you only get experience points. Now your renown can never go above your actual rank, so you are eventually going to be forced to do a bit of PV to catch up. But you can get experience points, and a hell of a lot of experience points for taking part and winning scenarios, which is quite nice. So basically you could effectively, if you wanted to, never leave the starting area unless you had to go to the next zone to take part in their battlegrounds. Just sit in the starting zone and just constantly grind your way to level 40. It would take you a lot longer than just doing some PvE, and you wouldn't actually have fantastic gear while you were doing it, because you do get the option to buy gear when your renown goes up. But it's possible, and that's quite fun. Now, it does unfortunately seem to hinder on the instance development. Now, there was a big thing in the advertising at the end of the game where there was this place called Bastion Stairs, which is this massive cornate temple. Now, if anyone that knows anything about the lore and has read anything about Warhammer will realise that all of the Chaos people in this are Zeech worshippers. You do fight Nurgle, you do fight Slanesh, and you do fight Khorne, because none of the Chaos gods like each other and they make very good antagonists. So if you pick one that is relatively reasonable in terms of trying to get that, PG rating for a game, then you can then have not only the Order but also Destruction fighting the other three Chaos gods. Bastion says this massive place, cornate temple, and it looks really nice. They've presented it in a really nice way, but when you go in, it's boring. It's really, really boring. I mean, the gear's nice, but it's a boring instance. There's not a lot of set pieces. There's not a lot of character to it. But I only did that in open beta, so they might have changed it. But what we have done recently is we have actually done the first set of instances inside the Inevitable City, which there are a fair few actually. You have to keep unlocking more and more of them by doing the previous ones. And that was boring. Each instance takes about half an hour to do, which is nice. And there's a reasonable selection of bosses in there which are modelled on their appropriate models in the tabletop game. But the gear's terrible, the XP's terrible, it's a giant waste of my time to do it. And it's a shame really, because I like doing instances, but clearly the game's not designed for you to do that, which is a shame. Now, with a game like this, you need to talk about transport, because I did say that each pairing off has its own set of tiers. Those tiers never meet each other. So you can't go, for example, from Tier 2 Chaos vs Empire to Tier 2 Orcs vs Goblins, because those zones are not adjacent to each other and they never meet. You have to go to a Flight Master in a war camp, which is only one of in each zone, despite that there are many different camps for you to go to for quest hubs, to fly to the other one. And that's annoying as hell. It makes it very difficult to actually do anything. It'd be nice if they had an interlinking flight network on each map, so you could quite comfortably get to where you need to go instead of walking or running or using a mount. So something like that is badly lacking from the game. I mean, say for example, right, I've done butchering apocryphy, and I've quickly realised the stuff I'm getting from butchery out levels my apocryphy significantly. So I'm going to have to go back to the starting area and the first tier and grind my way up through apocryphy by getting lower level items and then making potions with them. And it's going to be hard for me to do that because I'm going to have to physically walk all the way back there, and it's going to annoy the hell out of me doing it, which is why I've been putting it off for quite some time. Now, despite everything I've said, I really do enjoy the game. It's not going to hold my attention for a massive period of time. I honestly believe that when Wrath of the Lich King comes out, I'm going to have a lot more fun going back to Wrath than I am staying with War. I have heard people say that you can play and enjoy both. Total Biscuit from WoW Radio is one of said people. I, with my limited time at the moment, can't see me dedicating enough time to justify both of them. I'm going to play, I'm going to level, I'm going to enjoy Warhammer Online until Wrath of the Lich King comes out, at which point I'm probably going to switch back to Warcraft and go back to playing that again. And the main decision why that is as it is because you can get into an instance battleground or scenario, whatever you want to call it, as quickly as you do, with as little fuss as you do. It does greatly encourage people to do it, which is nice because it's a very good way to play the game. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it does devolve down to deathmatch mentality, where people just go on their own or grind the hell out of it. You know, I've even got issues with my current guild at the moment where you try and arrange a guild event and people sign up for it, but up until the very moment when that guild event starts and you start throwing invites out for it, they're doing RVR because there's nothing else to do. You know, you're either grinding PvE, which not a lot of people like to do, or you're doing instances, instant battlegrounds, which is where the experience and which is where the renown is and where ultimately the fun of the game is. I believe it leads to a deathmatch mentality, and to be honest with you, I grew out of that a while ago. You know, that's why I don't play first-person shooters anymore. I do to a bit, but I don't play them online, I don't play competitively, because there are people out there that are prepared to go a lot further than what I am to get anywhere. I feel this game might be the same, and the lack of content I can read about this game is appalling. I mean, you go to the Warhammer Online, the Warcraft website, and it'll tell you how to play the game, it'll tell you what rewards you get for doing this, that and the other. It gives you instance rewards, it gives you a list of all the different places you can go to. It gives you an idea on how to play the game even without the manual. In fact, it's better than the manual because it's updated on a regular basis to coincide with what's come out in the patches. With Warhammer Online, I've got no freaking idea what I'm doing, right? I'm sat there in the instances for Inevitable City, and it keeps telling me I'm contributing towards the renown of the Inevitable City, and eventually the little 1 star that's below the map becomes 2 stars. I'm thinking, what does that signify? What does that mean? You know, what am I inevitably going to go for if I keep grinding this out till I get like 5 or 6 or 7 stars? You know, what am I going to get? No idea. There's people speculating there might be more than one type of mount because you get a mount level 20. We have no idea. No one's got that far. The high-end stuff has barely been touched playtesting wise. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a rant there. Despite what I've said, I do enjoy the game. It's a good game, it's just not finished. It has a lot of issues with it which give me some grief when I think about them too much. I mean, once I've done this video and I've posted on the internet and I've done my writing for next week's role-playing scenarios, I'll be going back and I'll be playing it again with my guild mates. But for now, this is Captain Machine signing off, which is what probably a multi-parter now, given how long I've been talking for, saying, if you like PvP and you think that the PvP system in Warcraft is appallingly bad, because it is in all fairness, and you don't like Guild Wars, which again is appallingly bad, then Warhammer is the game for you. If you don't like PvP and you like doing PV quests and you like killing random mobs for their tusks, you like doing instances, don't go anywhere near Warcraft because it's not going to fulfill your needs whatsoever. Stick to Warcraft. Go play Dungeons & Dragons Online. That's basically just all of Dungeons & Dragons Online's instances all over and over again. Go play Cities of Heroes for what little time there is left on it, because you know that's going to go eventually. Right. Well, thank you for your time, guys. Bye bye.